What is it?
Hellpoint. Hello, welcome to The Essential Gamer with me, Lee. You are watching What Is It? And what it is Hellpoint. Which, to put really simply, and to make the rest of the 7 minutes of this video almost pointless, is a new Dark Souls clone. It is. It comes from Tiny Build, the same people that brought out Hello Neighbour, and whilst the production levels may not be up to AAA standards, it's fairly decent in its presentation, to a point. So, starting off, it is Dark Souls. You start off with a formless body that has no name and no understanding of why they exist, and you're given some sort of vague reasoning and some voice to listen to of some vague overlord vaguely vaguing its vague way around vaguely. It's typical Dark Soulsian fare, to be quite honest with you. But the difference with this one is that it's Dark Souls, but it's not just a straight rip-off, because this is Dark Souls in space! Yes, a completely different setting, and an interesting world. Probably the most interesting part about the entire game is its setting. Where are you? What are you doing? Why are there giant space whales? So, being a Dark Souls clone, it's very much go to area, unlock area, defeat enemies, to level up, return to area to spoof enemies because not leveled up enough, rinse, repeat, die. Yeah, that's it really. There's a good variant of enemy types, and it does sort of have these unlockable sections and different routes to take here and there, so you can find quicker ways around the opening area. But I'll be honest, the opening area is rather disappointing. It does open up and turn into a much better looking and more spaciously spaced game, which is space-based. Space. So instead of bonfires, you go to ripped time shards or whatever they are, and yeah, I mean it's standard. You level up your bloke with the points that you've earned for murdering people. When you die, you drop your axioms, which are your souls, and then you go back and pick them up, and then you can level up and all that sort of jazz. It's yeah. There is a multiplayer component where you can invite people in, a la Dark Souls. I mean, I know I've said Dark Souls a few times, but it is Dark Souls in space. I'm not joking. But anyway, you can send out calls, have people join you, and this all happens in real time, and it's very nice to see. And then when someone wants to join you, they click on that, and they can choose their intentions. Now, I said I want someone friendly, so a green bloke should have turned up, and he did. Look, green bloke. And straight away, he decided that he wasn't going to be my friend. He decided he wanted to kill me, along with everything else on the screen. Because if there's one thing that it is very good at copying Dark Souls at, it's the combat and the difficulty. So combat, I'll show you using the green guy as an example. It's exactly the same. You've got a light attack, a heavy attack. You can hold things in your offhand like a shield, and you can also lock on to have a proper Dark Souls experience. You've got the dodge, the roll, jumping. That's it. I mean, obviously as you find more equipment and level up, you get stronger weapons and stronger defences. You'll get armour to put on your, at the moment, uncovered body. I mean, I don't really know what you are. You're like some sort of weird, just fresh out the Matrix cyborg thing. But anyway, yeah, so there's different ways to approach it. You can do the speed builds, the heavy builds, the power, the dexterity, the talking, the whatever. And yeah, it's all fairly typical Dark Souls stuff. I mean, I will say that off the bat, I wasn't massively impressed with the character model. I didn't think it looked great. I do think the environment is decent, although it is a lot of darks, reds, browns, and greys. It's not the most sunshiny of things to look at, and it's certainly no Bloodborne. But for all of its obvious influences, it does have moments of character. I wouldn't say it's particularly charming, but you do find out story, and you do get to feel for some of the inhabitants of this particular world, although you have absolutely no idea at all where you are or why. So I suppose you'll just have to play some of it to find out. So as I said before, you level up your guy using your axioms, which is what you get for killing things, and after you've infused and improved, you'll probably want to go out and take on all the big bads that you can, but unfortunately, you are not powerful. You are not strong. You are but a mere, terribly textured, bold Richard O'Brien looking clone thing. And it's going to take some time. The one thing about Hellpoint that I can tell you off the bat is that it is very grindy. I have grinded, even though I'm not a professional Souls player at all, for about 5 hours and got nowhere. That said, you are going to like this if you like that sort of rinse-repeat gameplay, as I call it, where you go round in circles, farming points, murdering the same thing over and over again to get your points up and eventually progress past the boss and all of that sort of jazz. I mean, performance-wise, it looks fine. The environments are, as I said, clean, at least, if not vibrant in any way. And the animations for everything do work most of the time, but there is some frame drops. I had some serious moments of, 10 to 15 frames in battles, and the controls do feel a little bit clunky at times. There feels like there's a little bit of lag at times. That may improve with improving your character, but for me at the beginning, fighting against frames and fighting against enemies that are clearly overpowered, with the controls fighting against you as well, let's face it, it's only ever going to end in one way, isn't it? And it never ends in favour of the little guy in these games. It ends in favour of the bloke with the biggest sword. So eventually you will level up though, and you'll get to fight the boss after going through a boss wall, because there's always a boss wall. And this is where it got particularly bad for me. I had sound dropping out. I had literally had an epic soundtrack for 2 seconds and then silence. Not that it made a massive difference to the gameplay, but there was things I didn't understand. My bloke's texture completely changed, making absolutely no sense to me. I didn't know what had happened. I didn't know how to fight this thing. After many attempts, I just gave up and started doing the same circle over and over again, farming, trying to improve the points on my bloke so that he's hard enough to take on the big boss. And I really can't hammer home how pertinent of a point that is. You'll be repeating a bit. So Hellpoint is out right now. If you wanted to get it, you can get it. And if you like Dark Souls or Bloodborne or Neo or any Souls-like, you will definitely like this one, I can guarantee you that, even if it won't set the world on fire. If this video has been any good to you, please like and subscribe, and if not, I will throw myself into the endless time of space. Goodbye!